What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Trinity Road Tape. We are back after a little bit of a break during the holidays, and as both basketball teams are now moving into ACC play, one thing I wanted to do is take a look at some more Wes Moore stuff. So we haven't done a Wes Moore video yet. Obviously, this is a very new series, but I always really enjoy watching Wes Moore's offense because there's so much depth to it. There's a lot of sets and I think almost every game I see something I haven't seen before. So I'm going to start looking at more of this stuff. And this was something that they ran against Clemson 3 times in the second half. This is a play that I would probably call something like 77 reject staggered flare, if I had to name it. And it's a 77 ball screen action that is really designed to create a curl to the basket from your off-ball guard, and they used it successfully in this game. Sinai Rivers got a layup off of it once. Zoe Brooks got a three off of it once, and then Isaiah James got a three that she couldn't make off of it once. But anytime you get an open three for Isaiah James, like that's what you want. So we're gonna take a look at this play here and how it develops, and walk through what those four terms mean, right? So we called it 77 reject staggered flare. So 4 elements of the play. This is a play that has really a couple different scoring options built into it. And we'll go back and look at the other times they ran it also. And you can kind of see, how this is something that the guard really has to make a decision on. And it's a play that can be effective in a number of different ways. So here's Zoe Brooks, right? Bringing the ball up the floor. We're going to initiate this with a pass to Rivers, and you're going to get staggered ball screens here. So this is what you call 77, right? So you've got Mallory Collier right here is setting a ball screen, and then you've got Madison Hayes here setting a ball screen. And so that's 77. And then Sinai Rivers is going to take this screen and basically make a read off of the player guarding her. If this player fights over the top of the screen, Rivers is going to reject the ball screen, cross over, come back this direction. If this player tries to go under the screen, then she's going to be wide open for three and can just shoot. And we'll see Zoe Brooks do that in a minute. But in this case, you are going to get this guard fighting over the screen. And so you are going to get Rivers on a reject. And she's going to come over here. And you're going to see, I think this is 22 here, the Clemson big is going to sink like she's in drop coverage on a ball screen. Right? And so she's guarding Mallory Collier, who's a non-shooter. So this makes a lot of sense, and she's going to be basically in rim protection in drop coverage. Now, the reason why this play can get a curl so easily is because it's very hard to go under these ball screens when the secondary part of the action initiates. So once Rivers rejects that screen, Isaiah James down here is going to come around the perimeter. These two screeners are going to flip, and they're going to set staggered flare screens for James. And she's going to come use the screens and either curl to the basket or pull up and shoot. And that's largely dependent on how the screen is defended. So let's proceed from here. So you can see the guard's going to go over, crossover, reject back. Clemson big has sunk down toward the lane. You've got Hayes here flipping her body to set the screen. You're going to see Collier do this in a second. You've already got James on the move right here. Now, this is interesting. So you're going to see 12 here screws up real bad. So 12 for Clemson should not go under this screen. If you're going to go under the screen, you need the other defenders to be up on the screen, jamming it. So this screen can't just sink into you. And with this big back here, protecting the rim off of the Sinai Rivers crossover, that's not possible. So this guard needs to chase James over the top of this, and that should create an opportunity to get James downhill attacking this big. Now, 12 doesn't do that. 12 is going to go under, and the screen is going to sink back into her. Maybe it's an illegal screen. But you're going to see that, and James is going to be absolutely wide open. And so this really generates a wide open shot. So let's see how that plays out. So you see 12 goes under. tons of space for a fantastic shooter. Really, really well executed. Shot doesn't go in. Sometimes shots just don't go in. But that is what is supposed to happen on this play. And it's interesting. Like it does seem to me like a component of this is making it very, very difficult to go under the screens and be effective in doing that, because you have this big most likely playing down. And so that kind of forces the action, it would seem. And it was a good set. And we're going to take a look right now at, if I can get to it, at this play ran right at the end of the third quarter. All right, so here we go again. Mallory Collier right here is going to be the first screener. Madison Hayes is going to be the second screener, and they're going to run this with Zoe Brooks. So what you're going to see is a very different defense. This is actually earlier in the game, but what you're going to see is a very different defensive approach here. So here comes your 77. All right, you've got the Clemson big is up here jamming this screen, and this guard is going under the ball screen. That's not, I don't draw that correctly. That's not a screen. It's going under the ball screen. And so with that happening, this is Rivers, who's going to be on the curl, and she is not going to actually do that because the screen does not get rejected, right? So that's kind of the decision-making aspect of this, right? If she doesn't reject this screen, this curl doesn't happen. So once she goes under like that, Brooks just basically steps back here and just shoots three, and she's open, right? Because the guard went under the ball screen and makes it. And so the guard has agency there, right? The guard has to make that decision. And State's guards are excellent. So they've done a really good job with this. So they're going to run it again on this next set. And this one to me was the most interesting. They're going to run it with Rivers on the ball this time. Again, let's go back here. All right, so there's the pass here to Rivers. Same two screeners. There's your 77 action. Rejection. So you're going to get the curl here. But Rivers, being really good, is going to recognize off of this rejection that this guard was kind of cheating a little bit and is going to pick up a pretty good angle and is just going to go to the basket. So she's got the angle there. 22, actually, if you go back and you look at it, 22 is up jamming Collier, right? So 22 is kind of expecting the guard to go under the screen, and the guard goes over. So Clemson's pick and roll defense was not very good, right? Because that's poor communication. And, Rivers just wins one-on-one off that attempt to kind of cheat over the screen. And that's something that she can do, and then finishes at the basket with the length and size. And, she missed the shot, actually. I thought she made that, but she missed it. But either way, that's kind of how that's what I like about this type of stuff, right? This set is that it's very open to the guards, right? They can make the decision based off their reads, what is the right play. And you've seen it run with Rivers, you've seen it run with Brooks, and they're making the right play every time. State has really good guards that can get downhill off of that kind of thing. And so, you have that rejection, and that's a part of the play where the ball can just go straight to the rim. But if it's not there, right, you're coming back to that curl. And if they try and go under the initial screen, you can pull up from three. And